Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to go over some meta sounds. So in the last video, we went over where to get this plugin for the GASToolkit from my Patreon, from the Master of the Hunt tier, and then you'll be able to get access from the Discord to the GitHub repo. Once you have that, you can build it, put it in your project. There's a video being uploaded right now for the setup for it, and then once you get set up, you'll be able to just open up your project, and you have this, and you have your notifies and your gameplay cues and all that jazz. You should move this content into your content file or copy it or something like that, and then reset the gameplay cues and all that stuff so it works. Just follow the last tutorial. It should be really easy. All right, getting into the meta sounds. Now, meta sounds are sort of like cues, like a sound cue that you can put like a parent in, and that parent can have functionality. So I'll kind of try to break it down in a simple way, even though it's going to look a little weird. So what's happening is that inside of, under the hood of what I'm doing, there is triggers. These triggers will trigger these different things. These different things will happen based on enumeration from your movement mode. So if you're ability sprinting, for example, like if you're using ability sprint, which is, I believe, how I'm doing this, or through a gameplay tag for sprint, because it's gas based, right? So if ability sprint is active, then it's going to know you're sprinting. If ability crouch is active, it's going to know you're crouching. And walk and run are a little different. So there's two ways that it detects walk and run. One of them is going to be through the gas attribute set. So when I get into that, you'll see that there is a gate attribute set, the gate attribute set, and this is going to be the specific movement set associated with the gas movement component that comes with gate. And that is going to, how it's going to do this is it's just going to say, are you over half the speed of your gate locomotion attribute? If that makes sense. So if the value is 500, if you're over 250 velocity, then you're going to be walking or running appropriately. Whereas the other way is it's going to get max speed if that attribute set isn't valid. So if that attribute set doesn't exist, it's going to check your character movement component, and then there's going to be something in here that's called max speed or whatever, max walk speed. And it's going to reference off of that. So that's how it's going to check to see which trigger it's going to fire. It's going to fire these triggers, which is just going to be an input array of different things. There's nothing set up here. It's going to randomize those, basically just randomize the pitch a little bit between 0.9 and 1.1. And it's just pitch shifting that just a tiny bit. That creates a bit of modulation so that it doesn't always sound the same. And then it's just going to mix out the one, put out the one value, and trigger the one value. So that's all that's going to do. And these things will expand over time. So as I get to work with more meta sounds and stuff, this is only kind of my first week working with them, to be perfectly honest. And I have a lot of experience with audio. 15 years or so audio experience in engineering and in producing. So I do know a lot about audio. It's just meta sounds are a little different, and I get to now bring my programming to meta sounds, which is fun because you get things like this. So all of them are going to be just children of this. So I can pretty much just create a meta sound like however I would like. Like I've just been duplicating these because it's quicker. But you can basically just duplicate this and then rename it, and then in this you'd set your values. So I don't have any sound effects in this particular project, but I would choose however many sprint waves I want, however many crouch waves I want, all those things. If those sounds don't exist, well, then that sucks. So the thing is that in this now we have this parent, right? And this parent's always going to play this sound. But let's say when we're walking on a certain physical surface later in time, we want to have like a blend in of different Foley sounds. So let's say you have like certain types of armor on, like chain or leather or plate mail or something like that. You should be able to blend in a bit of the Foley sounds with the bass sounds that are your footstep sounds, right? So like ideally that's kind of the setup that's going on here. And aside from that, meta sounds stay really small because the size map is very, very small. And even with data added, it's still going to keep like under a couple hundred kilobytes. So yeah, I wanted to keep this short. I hope that kind of makes Metasounds make a little more sense, at least for how I've laid them out. And as I said, as time goes on, I'm just going to expand these and talk more about them. All right, like and subscribe, and hopefully some of you guys grab the Gas Toolkit because it's going to be a very, very powerful tool. All right.